Good afternoon. Today I would like to talk to you about our new product called SafeUTM. During the presentation, I will briefly talk about each module and what it is used for. You can find the complete information in the documentation on our website. Let's get started. SafeUTM is a new generation firewall that will allow you to manage and secure your network from all kinds of external threats. Here is the dashboard page. It displays information about the CPU load, RAM consumption, the status of modules, and license information. Users. This tab contains information about users and user groups on your network, and also sets up authorization, import, and user management methods. Users can be entered manually, collected automatically by scanning the network, or imported from an Active Directory environment. Also, here you can set up a VPN connection for remote users. Monitoring. In this section, you can get data about users authorized on the server, CPU and interface loads, as well as view traffic data in real time. Connect additional monitoring systems as Zabbix. Traffic rules. This section sets up the services that define the basic rules for filtering traffic in SafeUTM. Firewall. The firewall works on the principle of everything that is not prohibited is allowed. By default, the firewall contains rules hidden from users that provide SafeUTM access to the network and protect it from attacks from external and internal networks. 4 tables are available for changes. Forward, the main table that processes all packets going to your local network. DNAT, used for publishing resources and port forwarding. Input, incoming traffic to the server itself. SNAT, to configure the translation of network addresses. In its work, the firewall operates with objects. Objects can be IP addresses, IP address ranges, subnets, domains, ports, time, users, user groups, and so on. Let's create a rule that prohibits the transfer of traffic from Office 1 to Office 2. To do this, we need to create 2 objects, Office 1 and Office 2. Let's go to the Objects and create them. Next, let's get back to the firewall and create a rule. We specify the Office 1 and Office 2 objects created by us as the source and destination. Click Save. As we can see, our new rule was preserved and immediately applied. Now let's allow the sales team to send traffic to Office 2. To do this, create a new rule. We specify the sales user group as the source and Office 2 as the destination. Keep in mind that the rules are executed from top to bottom, so the permissive rules should be at the top. Click the up arrow to change the position of the rule. According to our rules, only members of the sales group now have access to Office 2. Application Control. The Application Control module is designed to allow or block access of different apps to the Internet. As an example, consider remote access applications. Firstly, why should such applications be blocked on your network? We know of many cases when, with the help of calls, spam or phishing mailings, or social engineering methods, attackers convinced some employees to download portable remote access applications. Portable apps do not require installation and, accordingly, administrator rights. Thus, the attacker gets access to the company's network and does whatever he wants there. The Application Control module will allow you to control the access of such applications to the network. To do that, you need to create a simple rule. Let's apply this rule to all users. Access can be allowed for the network administrator only. Application control rules are executed from top to bottom, so the enabling rules should be at the top. The network administrator, if necessary, will be able to open access for any user. It is also recommended to block many other types of applications, such as torrents, crypto miners, and so on. Content filter. Why you should use URL content filtering or at least DNS filtering. There are a lot of reasons for this. I'll tell you about the main ones. Firstly, these are phishing attacks. Everyone knows what phishing is. Content filtering will provide you with protection against attacks based on browser vulnerabilities. For example, administrators of so-called bad sites with illegal content or porn or something similar do not have a legal opportunity to monetize their traffic through, for example, advertising. Therefore, they allow attackers to redirect site visitors to phishing sites or carry out attacks directly by using the browser's vulnerabilities. The browser is actually a security hole since the HTTPS port is always open, and the browser is allowed to initiate an independent connection. Here, a simple firewall will not help you. Content filtering will protect against receiving commands to botnet clients that may already be inside your network. Almost all botnet clients use HTTPS ports to receive commands from command centers of botnet networks or encryption keys if we mean encryption viruses or ransomware attacks. And one more important thing is protection against unproductive use of the communication channel. Blocking non-work-related content will allow you to provide stable and high-speed internet access for work applications and needs. It's pretty obvious. There are 141 categories at your disposal with hundreds of millions of URLs. You can create your own categories and add your own URLs. Some rules are made by default, but you can modify or delete them. Let's create and apply a custom category. I have a couple of URLs from one of our customers. They lead to certain Facebook groups, access to which should be blocked. We need to enter the name of the category and paste these URLs here. That's it, the category is ready. Let's apply to all users from the sales group. As in most modules, the rules work from top to bottom until the first match. So the permissive rules should be at the top and the forbidding ones at the bottom. The rule is applied instantly. Traffic shaping. This service is designed to limit the speed of incoming internet traffic for network users. Antivirus. Checks traffic for viruses, obviously. For ease of administration, the optimal performance settings of the antivirus module and antivirus filtering settings are pre-configured in the product and do not require manual configuration. If necessary, the settings are optimized in SafeUTM version updates. IPS. The intrusion prevention system will provide you with protection against attacks on your network and data leaks. We all know about all kinds of telemetry services, for example, in Windows operating systems, or spyware applications, or even an ordinary flashlight on Android collects all sorts of data about the user's activity, location, and so on. In the future, this data is quite legally sold on various markets. I don't think you need such data to leak out of your network. Also, do not forget about port scanning, brute force attacks, traffic anomalies, and so on. The network is constantly exposed to various kinds of attacks. The intrusion prevention system will be able to protect you from that. As you can see, there are many categories that contain in total more than 20,000 rules according to which the system will monitor your traffic. You can easily add some exceptions if you need it. Modern and productive Suricata is used as the engine of IPS. Objects. In the Objects section, you can create objects to use in firewall rules, content filter, application control, and routing. Anything can be an object: users, domains, ports, networks, time, etc. Quotas. In this section, you can configure traffic limits for users. For each quota, you can define its validity period: hour, day, week, month, quarter. It can be assigned to users or groups in the user tree on a separate quota tab. Also on this tab, you can increase and view the available traffic for the current time period and find out when the quota will be reset. If a quota is assigned to a group, then by default it is assigned to all members of the group as well as to subgroups. The quota inherited from the group can be changed in the properties of a nested user or group. Services. This section contains settings for network management services. Network interfaces. Here you can configure connections to service providers, channel reservations, and static and dynamic balancing. Channel aggregation and failover. In the SafeUTM web interface, it is possible to route local and external networks. You can create and edit routes via the web interface in the Routing section. Routing. Routing in SafeUTM has a number of advantages over some other traditional routing systems. Among them, the ability to specify the source network directly in the route. Adaptivity function. In case of unavailability of the gateway or interface, the route search will continue according to the further routing rules. BGP. SafeUTM supports BGP, Border Gateway Protocol, which is the main dynamic routing protocol used on the Internet. Accordingly, you can configure BGP to exchange information about the availability of networks. OSPF. SafeUTM supports OSPF, Open Shortest Path First, a routing protocol based on the state of channels. A channel is a router interface or network segment that connects two routers. The state data of these channels is called the channel state. Using this module is best suited for networks that have network load balancing. Proxy. It is used for the transparent proxying of web traffic to users on the local network. Reverse proxy. Reverse proxy technology allows you to proxy web traffic in the opposite direction, from the Internet to the local client. This approach has replaced port mapping or DNAT and expanded the possibility of publishing web resources. DNS. The service allows you to specify DNS servers and external networks through which domain names requested from local networks will be resolved. It is possible to specify third-party DNS servers with an indication of the specific DNS zones that these servers serve. The mentioned DNS server features can be used simultaneously. DHCP. The SafeUTM interface allows you to configure a range of IP addresses for automatic assignment, as well as to form static bindings of the IP addresses to the MAC addresses of these devices. NTP Server. The NTP Server is used to synchronize the time of all devices on the network. IPsec. The settings in this section allow you to combine local networks of several locations, the so-called site-to-site connection. Client-to-site connections are also available. TLS Certificates. This section displays SSL certificates or certificate change, the list of which is formed by the following modules: reverse proxying module, VPN servers, web interface, web authentication, mail, etc. Reports. In this section, you can create, configure, and view reports on user behavior on the network. Reports can be generated and sent according to a schedule. You can get information about visited resources, resource categories, traffic, security events, and so on. Server management. This section contains services for server management. The creation of administrators, updates, and backups are done from here. Advanced users can use the terminal if required. Access to it is also here. Mail relay. In this section, you can configure mail services as well as additional features such as webmail, spam checking, mail relay and forwarding, and etc. The end. That's it for the SafeUTM. Thank you for watching.